What's going on, everybody? It's Camille Ico out of Cincinnati, Ohio, inspiring you to live the life that you love spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. So as you guys are coming on, just let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. That would do me a great favor. Tonight we are back on with the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. And on tonight, we are going to be talking about the law of design. So again, guys, as you're coming on, I'm not going to be here long on tonight because I do have another appointment in just a few moments, but I wanted to make sure that I got on here and got this good information to you all. So the law of design, there's a quote by Jim Rohn that says, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. It's so important for you to be able to distinguish what your plan is for your life and not fall into the traps of the plans that other people have for your life. He says there's no substitute for being strategic. To maximize growth, you must develop strategies, and that is the law of design. And so what is it that you really want for your life? Really begin to picture it, really begin to imagine it, really begin to see it. He says most people allow their lives to simply happen to them. And oh my gosh, I say that all the time. They float along, they wait, they react. And by the time a large portion of their life is behind them, they realize that they should have been more proactive, more strategic. And I hope that this isn't the case for you guys, that that you develop a sense of urgency to really be pro-strategic and have a pro-strategic mindset in the life that it is that you desire and that you want to have. So John C. Maxwell goes into some life lessons that he learned. So I'm not going to go through all of them. But number one is life is very simple, but keeping it that way is difficult. And he kind of goes through a way to help you manage that. But the one that I really want to hone on, there's actually two of them that we'll really talk about as far as his life lessons. Let me see here, because there's just so many good points in this book, is designing your life is more important than designing your career. Now, this doesn't mean don't design your career, but ultimately sometimes we focus so much more on what we want to be when we grow up, right? We focus so much more on how we going to get that money, how are we going to pay the bills, that we don't focus on the full picture of life. We only focus on what we're doing on our job. And because of that, we tend to not live a fulfilled life because we're just focused on the career, all right, versus all the other aspect that life has to offer. He says planning your life is about finding yourself, knowing who you are, and then customizing a design for growth. Once you draw the blueprint for your life, then you can apply it to your career. You know, this is why so many people they really excel in their career. They excel on their job. They make good money. However, home life is bad, or their spiritual life is bad, or their finances are bad, or, just their social life has gone down the hill because they haven't really planned out their life. They only planned out their career. Hopefully this is making sense to you all. He also says that life is not a dress rehearsal. So don't get to a point in your life where you regret over not being proactive enough. Okay, so don't look back and be like, man, I should have done this. I could have done this. I would have done this. No, do it now. Do it right now. Identify some things in your life that you can begin to work on right now. So there was a study done, and it was published in the book Aspire. Yes. And there was a bunch of 70-year-old executives. Okay, so executives, we know they're the top of the creme de la creme of the companies. But the study asked them a question, and it said, what would you do differently if you could live your life over again? And the top response that was given was, I should have taken charge of my life and set goals earlier. Life isn't practice. It's the real thing, right? And then some of the other answers. I would have taken better care of my health. I would have managed my money better. I would have spent more time with my family. I would have spent more time on personal development. I would have had more fun. I would have planned my career better. I would have given back more, right? So these are the things that we have an opportunity to think about right now and come up with strategic plans to be able to have the life that it is that we design for ourselves. So there is a quote by Fred Allen that says, you only live once, but if you work it right, once is enough. All right. So let me see here what other points I want to share with you guys on tonight, because like I said, I only have a few moments on this evening, but I definitely wanted to hop on here. So one of the things is about creating systems for your life, creating a system on how you're going to reach a certain level of success. Now, while I'm not going to go into a whole lot on building the system of success, I do want to share a story that he gave about Muhammad Ali. And what he was saying is, you know, Muhammad Ali, he had a goal of becoming the greatest champion, right? He wanted the world's record of being the champion for boxing. And so he had actually lost against Joe Frazier. He had lost against Ken Norton, and those two have been beaten already. Okay. And so by Frazier, hold on, let me make sure I'm getting all or George Foreman. I'm sorry. So George Foreman had already beat Joe Frazier and Ken Norton, right? And so it wasn't about Muhammad Ali just practicing his best style. Like, I'm gonna go in, this is my best hit, this is what I'm going to do. No, in order for him to become the champion, he had to strategically come up with a system that was going to allow him to defeat George Foreman so that he could achieve what it is that he wanted, right? And some of us need to come up with a strategic system so that we can achieve what it is that we want. So with Muhammad Ali, he came up with the rope-a-dope, okay? And so this was a move that he created specifically to go in here to beat George Foreman so that he could win the title, right? So you can't just be out here doing things because you think, oh, well, this is the best, or just this makes me look busy. You know, Muhammad Ali could have been out there and be like, okay, well, I'm just going to run. I'm going to run. But would running have helped him to win the fight? Probably not, right? So it's not enough, guys, for us to just be busy planning, busy reading books, busy going to conferences. What else does he say here? It's not, yeah, it's just not enough, guys. Let me see here, but they aren't targeted on the areas essential to your success. So what is it that you're doing? Is it helping you to reach a higher level of success? As the saying goes, unhappiness is not knowing what we want and killing ourselves to get it. I'm going to say that again. Unhappiness is not knowing what we want and killing ourselves to get it. He goes on and talks about some other points about systems. And sorry, guys, if this feels rushed, because it pretty much is. But I am going to flip to the back of the book, or the back of the chapter. And he begins to talking about how we apply the law of design to our lives. So number one, take some time to assess which area in your life receive the most of your strategic planning time. Here's a list of areas to get you thinking. So what areas of your life are you really planning out? Like, you've really created a plan for this area. Some of y'all are like, well, I don't really have a plan for any of it. Good. Then that means that you need to get a plan together. So it could be career, it could be faith, it could be family, health, hobbies, marriage, personal growth, vacation. Have you been strategic in your approach to designing strategies and systems for your life? If not, why not? If so, where have you placed the most emphasis? And does your past behavior line up with what you say your priorities are? How would you like them to be? So have you said, you know what, my family is my priority, God is my priority. But when you look at your life and you really understand where you've been putting your time at, has it been to grow your faith? Has it been to strengthen your relationship with God? Has it been, you know, to spend more time with your family? If that's what you say your priorities are, because what you'll find is that when your life isn't designed to match up to what your values and what your priorities are, you are unhappy. Because there's a conflict. There's an internal conflict that's going on. Number two, begin developing or refining systems for yourself that will maximize your time and increase your efficiency. Brainstorm a list of areas where you desire to improve, and experiencing a problem or sensing an opportunity. Try to create systems to help you for each category, each section of your life, okay? And then the last thing, and again, this is really, really, really brief. So I suggest y'all get the book and you learn how to design your life. But the last thing is, many people who try to develop strategies for their life and make growth. And let me start over because I can't read because I'm in a rush. Many people who try to develop strategies for their life and growth make them too complicated. Any system you develop should be simple and straightforward. To test the ones you develop, try this. Explain them to a friend and see if they pass I'm tripping, y'all. Explain them to a friend to see if they can pass 2 tests. The first is whether you can explain it clearly. If you can't, it may be too complicated. The second is to see if your friend knows a better or simpler way of achieving the same goal. All right. So guys, that is the law of design. Make sure that you are living out your best life. Design your life the way it is you desire for it to be. That's my time. Camille Iaso out of Cincinnati, Ohio, inspiring you to live the life that you love spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. Goodbye.